YouTube family, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel, man. Welcome back to another video of what we got on the channel. And if you are new to the channel, man, first off, before I even get into that, I want to thank everybody for just tapping in on this video and checking me out. If you are new, make sure you comment, like, subscribe to the channel. Check out some of my old videos. I do a lot of car related stuff on here. And you clicked on this video because you like cars. So you're in the right place for all of that. And also make sure you check out my description below because I do have some discount codes for some products I use on my car, as far as the security devices and as well as cleaning products I use on my car. So hopefully you do subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date on all my videos that I got coming out. And for all my returning viewers, I want to continue to thank you guys for rocking with your boy on this YouTube journey. You know, we can't do it without you guys, and we're steady pushing to the next level. And thank you for rocking with your boy. So let's go ahead and get into the topic of today's video. You see the title and you see the thumbnail, man. So this is what we got going on. So I do get a lot of questions on Instagram and on other YouTube videos. Anytime they hear my exhaust and all that type of stuff, I get a lot of questions as far as what do I have done to it. And I tell them what I have done to it, and then they say how you don't get a check engine code and all that type of stuff. And then a lot of people ask me what are the pros and cons of doing that, like should I do it, what should I watch out for, and things of that nature. And I did a video before just talking about daily driving this car with my straight pipe, Catless mid straight pipe car, right? I did a video on that. On this one, I'm more focused on the pros and cons of going different routes of going Catless, right? So what we're gonna do first, I can't do a video talking about exhaust and not let you hear the car. So I actually need to back my car in because I like having my car back into the garage. So I'm gonna give you a cold start because the last time this car was started was yesterday, and it's pretty chilly outside. So this cold start gonna hit different. And let's look out the neighborhood, and it's in the afternoon, man. Everyone should be up. I'm not disturbing the neighbors or anything, but if so, it's not in the HOA, so they can't say anything about me, about my exhaust and stuff like that. So let me go ahead and get the car pulled out. I'm gonna back it in because I like to back in. It commands attention when I back the car into the garage. So let me do that for y'all, and y'all can hear that cold start and all the beautiful exhaust noise of this, 5.7 V8, you feel me? All right, now that we have pissed off every neighbor in a 5-mile radius, go ahead and get into the topic of today's video. Also, when I backed in, I got kind of close. I didn't hit the wall, but I got as close to this wall as I could. I had to pull it up some, so yeah, my bad. Only my bad on myself because I kind of messed that up, but we good. I didn't hit anything. So, into the topic of today's video. So you want to go Catless on your Dodge Charger, Challenger, and you're not sure what direction you want to go in. So I'm here to talk about everything you need to know to do it, everything to look out for, all that jazz, right? So first thing first, before you even dive into going Catless, if it's even legal, like if you got inspections and things like that, you don't even need to think about doing it unless you know your local laws, right? Because you're gonna mess around, do it, and waste a whole bunch of time and money doing it, and you're gonna have to put it on, take it off, do whatever, right? So you don't wanna waste your time doing that. Check out your local laws first, see if it's something you can do. If so, then you wanna look into your different options. But if not, you probably just wanna stop the video right now, don't even go any further, or just wanna keep watching the video if you wanna keep, supporting your boy in this channel. But first thing first, check your laws. So going Catless on your car, there's a couple different ways you can go about it. I don't know if you can see on my car here, because if you look about right here, let me see if I can get y'all under there, right there, You can probably see my catless mids, and that's where my cats would normally be. So there's a couple different ways you can go about it. Typically, if you do the long tube headers, you have to change out the factory manifolds, and then you have options versus like a catless mid pipe on the long tube headers, or you can go with a catted mid pipe off of that. What I'm talking about in this video is just the catless mid pipes on the factory manifolds. A few companies out there do make the bolt-on pipes that can go directly to the manifold, so you don't have to do any modifications to your stock cats. And I can show you what the stock cats look like, because I still got mine. They are right here. Stock cats. You don't want to move all that? Let's do it. Oh boy. Oh boy. Let's see. Here we go. We're gonna show y'all the stock cat. That's the stock cat right there. So I know I ain't capping. I really, like mine are gone, right? So, but I'm talking about with the factory manifold. So what I have on my car, I have a pipe that replaces this pipe right here. You notice there's no cuts or anything in this at all. There probably some scrapes from my car being lowered or whatnot, but there's no cuts or anything. Let me just do it like this, because it sits like that. Just like that under your car. So there are no cuts or anything like that. This pipe was just bolted out, and with new pipes I just bolted in. So there's no modification on there. So there are some pros and cons for doing it either way here. I mean, let's go ahead and get into that part. So now you're at the point, like I was saying before, that you wanted to go to catless mid pipes, and you have your cats right here or on the car, wherever, right? So you have two options what you can do. Option one is you can take these here, your factory piping, factory cats. You can go in here, and you probably can't tell in here, but there is some material all in here. What I see a lot of people doing, what you can do is you can take a tool, knock out all that material in there, knock it all out, dump it out, your cats are gutted, and you get pretty much the same sound. That's one option. The other option is you can go with the pipes that just bolt in. Now there's gonna be pros and cons for either one. So if you do the catless mid pipes, you don't have to alter your cats, and it can be removed. So that way, if you want to change back to your factory ones, you can bolt them back in and just change them out however you need be, depending on if you can do it yourself or however you want to do that. And another thing, if you do go with the catless mid pipes, I have learned that the catless mid pipes are lighter than these pipes here, so you will save some weight if weight is a big thing to you. I did a video maybe about a year and a half ago, so I weighed and found the weight of my catless mid pipes, gave a comparison of that, and I will link that up in here somewhere, so you can check out that videos if you want to check out the weight savings on going with the catless mid pipes. And those are some of the pros, right? Some of the pros, you don't have to cut these up, and you save a little bit of weight by going with the bolt-in pipes here. Now, some of the cons, right? Some of the bad things by going with the catless mid pipes. First thing, the catless mid pipes are generally going to be more expensive because of the fact that if you're trying to find them, they are very hard to find right now. Like, I've had people reach out to me on Instagram and say, where'd I get mine from? I actually bought mine used from somewhere else, from someone else. So I didn't have to pay full price. I didn't have to go through like any manufacturer or anything like that. But I even went to look for the same brand. I got the JBA catless mid pipes, and I can't find these anywhere. Like, I can't find them brand new anywhere. I think the only company that makes them now, if I'm not mistaken, for the 5.7s in my year at least, I think it's going to be Stainless Works, and those are pretty expensive. They are like $400, and all it is just a pipe that bolts in. That's all it is, and they're gonna charge you $400 for that. So it's gonna be more expensive if you go that route. Also, another bad thing if you go with the catless mid pipes, depending if your state or area has any kind of inspection, then what you can run into the fact is that you can look at your car and tell you don't have the cats on it. If you just went and gutted your cats, it'll still look factory. No one can really tell they gutted unless they know what they're looking for. But if you go with the bolt-on pipes, one look, you know you don't have the cats. So you can't hide the fact you're catless. Now, on the flip side, let's say you just want to go with the cats, your factory cats, you want to gut them out, right? Now, these cats, they have a lot of sound material in here that kills the sound. Like, I could scream in this end and you won't hear anything on the other end. I probably won't do that, but just take my word for it. There's a lot of sound deadening material in there. So if you want to go and gut your cats, there's some pros and cons to that as well. The first thing first is kind of what I mentioned with the catless mid pipes. You can actually hide the fact your car is technically catless because you gut everything out of it. Like, if you have to get an inspection or something like that, someone looks at it, they won't think that you're pretty much not running cats because it's gutted. Now, this is the bad thing. These cats, are pretty expensive. Like I forgot the price of them, but they're pretty expensive. So if you go in here and let's say you gut all that stuff out and you have to return it back to factory, you can't just put these back on unless you have another set, and because you already gutted these and modified them. So that is another thing about going this route. You can't reverse it. Once you go in and gut these, it's no reversing unless you buy a whole nother set of cats. All right, so next step here, after you have did or gone whichever route that you decide to go with your Catless mid pipes, either gutting your cats or going with the direct bolts on Catless mid pipes, the next thing you're gonna have to worry about is your check engine light. And you're gonna get a check engine light due to the fact that and we're going to do a little science here. On your car, you have two sets of O2 sensors, and the O2 sensors, they measure the amount of oxygen that comes through the exhaust. So it measures it from the front set of O2 sensors and the rear set O2 sensors. Right here, these are the rear set of O2 sensors that are going to be plugged in here. There's a front set that's on the manifolds in here. So the check engine light comes about when the computer checks that reading between those two sensors and notices that reading is not consistent, isn't in a certain range between those sensors. It's going to expect it to be at a certain point on the first one, and it has to be at a certain point on the second one. And if those aren't in the correct parameters, you get a check engine light. So if you remove the cats, you're going to mess with the sensor here, and it's going to mess up the reading on the oxygen level at this point when it enters the cat. So you have a couple of ways that you can get around that. The first way, you can go with the tune to go into your computer and take out that sensor, turn that sensor off so you don't get the check engine light. The other way, you can do O2 foulers is the other way you can do it. So there's pros and cons to each way of those. So if you decide to go the tuning route, which is more of the proper way to do it, like a lot of people like to go that route, because it opens you up for more stuff. So if you go the tuning route, you can get a custom tune and you can get better performance. So that means you're going in, you're turning your sensors off, but also at the same time, someone can write you a custom tune for your car and your car can perform better. You can get more horsepower out of it, more torque out of it, all that type of stuff, because usually when these cars come from the factory, they're tuned down just a little bit to get in certain emission ranges. But you tune it, you can get out of that, right? Now the con of that, if you go with a tune, the tunes are going to be more expensive if you go that route. And depending on the year of the car, it can be even more expensive because you have to buy a tuner for most cars, well, all cars actually, so you're gonna have to invest in that part. But the next thing is, depending if you have a 2015 Upcharger Challenger, you're going to have to buy a separate computer because the factory computers on these have to be unlocked before you can even tune them. So that incurs a different cost, like more cost on that. And another thing which I'm learning as well is that with the computers, even if you take it to the dealership and try to switch it back out, a lot of times the dealerships are able to see that your car is tuned even if you have the factory one back in there if you tuned it before. So you can't really hide the fact that your car is tuned. So you're voiding the warranty, of course, because you're messing with the sensors, you're messing with the computer, and it's gonna be hard to reverse if you decide to do it later and kind of hide that was tuned from the get-go, right? Now the next popular thing that people do to avoid any kind of check engine light is going with the O2 foulers. I mean, it's a cheap way, but a lot of people go this route because a lot of people don't want to go in and start messing with tunes and stuff like that. Like I said, that is more expensive. A lot of people do the Catless mid pipes for the sound. Some do it for performance, but a lot of people do it for the sound. Let's be honest, rather. So if you do the O2 foulers, first off, it's much cheaper. The O2 foulers are maybe like $10, $12, right? You can get them from auto parts store. You can get them Amazon, like you get them from anywhere, and they're really cheap. You don't have to mess with the computer. So if you decide to reverse it and go back to factory, you can hide the fact that you had it before because of the fact that it doesn't store that you had O2 foulers on your car before. And the O2 foulers work like this. So pretty much you're tricking the computer to say or think that these caps are working as they should. So pretty much what you're doing, you're screwing in like a kind of like a buffer or something like that. You're screwing that in and you stick the O2 sensor inside of that. So it makes this hole smaller, makes it a little bit smaller, and it doesn't read all of that gas and stuff that's coming through there, therefore making the computer think that the caps are still there and working just fine. Now, the con of doing that, and this is something that I've heard a lot of people run into, and I had to talk a lot of people through this, is that if you get the wrong set of O2 fouler's, then you can run into check engine light. Sometimes people get the ones that are too short and you end up getting a check engine light. Sometimes the hole isn't the right size, you get a check engine light. So you can run into some issues if you don't get the right ones. The ones I suggest getting are rather long. Unfortunately, the ones I had, well, the one I got in my car, they're not available on Amazon, but there's some other links out there. But like I said, like you have to get the right ones or you're gonna have check engine light. So if the hole isn't the right size, like I said, you're gonna get a check engine light and you're gonna have to go back under there, check them out and find ones that's gonna work. You haven't caught on yet. If you do decide to go catless, it will void your warranty because of the fact that you are messing with the computer and the sensors and stuff like that. Either it turns on or you find a way to trick it to turn it off. You're messing with the computer sensor, so that will void your warranty in that sense. I did mine. I was already out of warranty when I did it, so that's another thing you want to think about. But as far as with the whole exhaust system here, just so you know what can void your warranty and what can't void your warranty. I get a lot of questions like, also my car is straight pipe, so no mid mufflers, no rear resonators. And a lot of people say, does that mess with your warranty? And the answer is no. The reason being is anything, the easiest way to figure out if something's going to screw up your warranty in your car is if it messes with a sensor in your car or something of that nature. So there are, in the exhaust system, depending on your year of your car, you do have a couple of sensors there. Like I said, the exhaust manifolds off the engine, there's a sensor there. So of course, if you go along through headers, that's going to void warranty there. The Catless mid pipes here, they have a sensor there. So if you change these out, that's going to void the warranty. And the only other place on this car that has another sensor is, depending on the year of your car, if you go back towards the rear here, some of you guys that have active exhaust, the active exhaust actually has a sensor in it as well. So if those start malfunctioning, then you get a check engine light. So if you unplug them or mess with those, then you get a check engine light, but they're not attached to the muffler. So you can delete the mid mufflers, delete the rear mufflers, but if you leave the active exhaust intact and plugged in, then you won't get a check engine light. So that's another thing to think about as well. So that is gonna wrap up today's video, man. I hope I answered everyone's questions when it comes to going full catless, straight pipe and all of that. I got plenty of sound clips on my channel, so go ahead and check out some of my old videos if you wanna get some good sound clips of what my car sounds like. I got POV sound clips, I got outside sound clips. I got sound clips for days on that. I even got a whole compilation on my channel. So make sure you go and check out those videos if you wanna hear more about it. And if you do got any questions about anything I covered in this video that I maybe have left out or as well, make sure leave a comment below and I'll definitely get back to you and answer your question. As always, man, make sure if you're new to the channel and you haven't done it already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And in case you don't know, this is it right here. There's a button right down here to go ahead and hit that button and turn on the notification bell for me. And we are going to catch you on the next video. We are out. Cut it.